this roll here. It says to lay it out in the sunlight for an hour. I'm not going to be here in the sunlight, but so it's a 30-foot roll and it's 12 gauge thick. And so I just rolled it out nice and straight here. And I put a brick on the end. That's as long as a run as I can get. And what that's going to do is that's going to go in over here, either on the inside of that pipe, or probably I'll just take that pipe out and just replace it. I'm not sure. I'd reuse some of it, just move it over a bit. Either move it inwards so that I can, it's hard to explain it. A diagram would do much faster. So here's where it's going to run through, and that's going to catch it just so that when the homeowner walks through, this part will be dry, because all the water that embeds itself in here, it'll have somewhere to go without having to reach. Because the thing about the drain box I showed you before is that it's going to be sealed with silicone, except for the bottom. And the silicone is for the roots, not to get in there, but the bottom will have sand, and that's supposed to dry out, and hopefully the roots won't climb up it. But if they do, you can see them and you can cut them out, so it's not as big a deal as if it gets in the pipes. Because if it gets in the pipes, it'll start to pry them apart. If it's through the base of the drilled holes of the channel, it doesn't matter. The channel drain, the drain box. So this bedrock is what I'm cutting with that hammer, and I've drilled some little holes there. I'm going to start chipping away at that. And gotta be careful here. All this temporary lighting. I wanted to just put a floodlight set up there, but I'm gonna have to do a GFCI. See, there's a switch here, but that's not very good. Maybe I could put something in there, but I'd have to check. But yeah, I'm gonna measure that and see if I can get just a ready-made piece that'll just bolt onto there, and yeah, then it's just a matter of punching through it. Oh, that shouldn't be too big a deal. Yeah, and then I'll have some nice floodlights. But the question is, how am I going to control it? Because I want to control it from inside. And so here's that's the fabric that's going to wrap up the French drain part, and it's going to that part and that part back there, and some of that part, but obviously not after the open part. When you have a daylight facing drain, all the dirt gets in there, whereas around here it's isolated by that fabric, which is high flow rate fabric, so that the pipes don't absorb any heavy dirt or anything or junk like leaves. None of that'll get in there. But if you have a daylight drain like this grate, and by the way, I forgot to show last time the grommets. I don't know if they're even here. Well, anyway, I have these grommets. Here it is. So that allows me to drill a 5-inch hole into that drain, so I can go on the side and take the full width of it, because I want it to be easy to clean out. I don't want this little cheap, cheesy thing here. Why reduce a 4-inch inner diameter, when you can go the whole thing? I mean, look, why would you want that size hole when you can have that one? I want the Big Mac, So look at this. Look at that mud on the bottom. So you would clean that out if that happens, and hopefully it won't once this is all finished up. So hope I didn't tilt that camera too much. Now here I wanted to show this again. So I'm gonna go deeper here, and the idea of going deeper here is that the deeper I can go while keeping the slope, which is why I said earlier I'm gonna have to in the front do that, is because, like I said, the soil is higher than the slab, and that is true over there too. And what happens, by the way, this block, I never showed this before on a video. That was laying over there to sort of, whoa, and it was covering all that stuff, and it's really heavy and painful to lift. I mean, I don't know what I'm going to do with that thing. But hopefully this pipe is big enough that only the one will be enough to take out all the dirt dirt and water, any sediment that may come. And the reason I've got to dig so deep here, why this isn't just ready to go yet, is because I want it to be deep enough that if mosquitoes want to lay eggs, they can't do it anywhere around here, because there won't be any of that soggy water like out front. You saw that muddy area, and maybe that would dry out, maybe not. I don't know how long that works, but I don't want mosquitoes to be growing, and that's what's happening with the sump pump. And there is bedrock. As I was digging here, I came across water, and I'm using this wetback to kind of blow out after I chip and drill. And I'm finding, look at that thing, I'm finding that that there's water, like standing water underneath that soil, which is fine. It can be there. It's allowed to be there. I don't mind. But I just don't want it to be accessible by mosquitoes when I'm done. And if the drain box is going to be there, I'm concerned that that's going to be too close to the surface of the bottom of the drain box. You see what I mean? So I need a few inches below the bottom of the drain box, which is a full foot down. So I need, not only am I sloping down from that slab, at least 2 inches maybe, I gotta go another foot, and then another probably 4 to 6 inches. I don't know how I'm gonna do that, but that's why it's a big job. I just want to make sure that any water is just below all this dirt. You know, I don't care if it's down there. It's just got to be below all the dirt. And then I got to till all this into something that grass will grow on, which could be tough with all these rocks. And so I got that strainer. I'm going to probably cut it shorter. Probably going to cut it maybe into 2/3, so that it's easier to work with. And then I'll use that bucket over there to pour the rocks on top of, like sort of like that, like mining for whatever. Look at this stuff. It's amazing. This mud is really like concrete. It's like it's concrete, and that's what happens. And that's my level. That's what I used for a level. And yeah, I'm doing this in pretty cold weather, but I'm feeling a lot better about it now. And here's that pump. That's a Zoller M53. It's about 43 gallons per minute at this head, which is only, what is that? I don't know, a foot or two down. And then it just goes downhill. Steep slope there, and I believe it slopes all the way. It may go up a little. I don't like that, because if it freezes, even though the freeze depth is like, I don't know, half an inch in North Carolina, but still, I don't want standing water to be in there. If it does freeze, it might burst the pipe. Yeah, that's kind of annoying. Maybe I'll end up just running it parallel. It depends where it goes. It's come a long way. I mean, I actually had this dug out before, and I was going down all the way into there where there was a drain. I don't know, maybe I'll hook up something into that. I don't know. Right over there. So let's take a look at this. See how that looks. I didn't take a look at that yet. So this is where I'm going to put the soil separator, you see? And it's going to be gravel in here up to, you know, about the height of this thing. And then over here I'll probably use some kind of a screen of about that sort of a gauge. Maybe wrap it around there just to keep the rocks from coming out. And I guess maybe I'll dig this all out. You see, look at that drain. Look at this. This is hilarious, right? This is an old drain, a 4-inch box, like an NDS box. And they had cut the actual pipe that I guess was running out through there. Now, I doubt that it was rolling out through there or anywhere else, but who knows? This is such a weird job. Okay, so here you go. Look at that mud. This is like quality mud, you know? This is like perfect. This is like what people pay for. And there's the rock.